if I wouldn't have grown my wisdom, then how would I be able to show the maturity of my wisdom? And what I'm saying is, if I'm claiming that I was always intelligent, then wouldn't my intelligence show its maturity? See, I'm not like defining it, I'm just telling you. See, so now, if I don't define it, then how would you know how deep it go? See what I'm saying? See, like I'm just telling it to you, right? And so if you think what I'm saying is deep, I'm saying, well, just wait until I define it. And once I define it, then you will see the depths of it. Right, right? So I'm saying if I am history, right, that's being denied, even though I can read and I can write, then how America is not anti my knowledge? Because if America's history says that it denied my ancestors the right to read and write, and now America is denying what I read and what I wrote, then how America is not anti-black educated people? See, so now you have to ask yourself, well, when I was in their schools, they kicked me out. I graduated early. Now I started a corporation. They deny me the right to be rewarded for industry. And I had to go and show them where they violating Section 2 of the Florida Constitution. Now, see, I didn't go and get it and break it down. See, I'm just telling you the superficial of it. So now, if I'm just telling you the superficial of what I'm saying and you don't know what superficial mean, see, then he like, boy, that boy can be, see, but then you will say he can preach. See, and I'm saying, how can I be a teacher when I'm a witness? See, I'm a witness to me. Now, you a witness to Jesus. And I'm saying, if you never saw Jesus, how can you witness to something you never saw? See, so you in court talking about Jesus and this, and I'm saying, well, when did you see Jesus and you were alive, just like Saul did? Because when did you see Jesus? You read about Jesus and you felt him in the situation you was in, and that's why I want these kids to feel me. See, I'm saying, don't touch me, feel me. See, because once you understand, then you're gonna become a new person. You're not a creature. I'm not defining it. I'm telling you, you're not a creature. You're a human being who has been taught to become a creature. See, that's why they say you're a creature of habit. See, so you're a creature. You're not a creature, man. You're a human being that has been taught a behavioral pattern. See, so it's more probable than not that you will do this. See, that's why it says God give you free will. See, now you got to see who is God and what will is he allowing you to use freely. See, he not allowing me to go into court and use my will to do his will, right? Now, I'm saying not your God. I'm talking about the God that America say it believes in. See, so I'm saying if the God of America approved the Florida Constitution as the guideline for his defense. Because in there say, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. So you look up, you see that God, and you saying, well, okay, the guidelines that this God say that I have to live by in order for him to accept my truth in evidence, right, is the Florida Constitution in Florida. I'm from Florida. I was born in Florida. I'm defending my personhood in the state of Florida. See, so I was born under this document called the Florida Constitution. Now, my ancestors wasn't. See, but because of the movement of the civil rights movement led by Dr. Martin Luther King, according to history, just like the Exodus was led by Moses, according to his testimony in the Bible. So now wouldn't I be now taking over the Exodus of Moses, as well as the civil rights movement of Dr. Martin Luther King? If I am the final, if I am the final conflict. See, right? I'm in court. I'm using Moses' testimony, Dr. Martin Luther King's testimony, Minister Malcolm X testimony. See, I'm using the Prophet Muhammad testimony because I'm using the Bible and the Quran. I'm using the Ten Commandments. See, but if I wasn't in accordance with the Florida Constitution, how could I show my maturity? See, okay, if I would have did something, a lawyer would have said or tried to claim that I was temporarily insane. So now what I'm asking, well, how can you be temporarily wise? It's a defense called temporarily insane. So if you can be temporarily crazy, do you go back to being wise? See, that seemed like a serpent defense to me. So, okay, so why Jesus wasn't charged? Because they say Henrod said that he was crazy. So they see, if you read the scriptures, when Pontius Pilate said, see, now I'm not going and getting no, see, I'm saying now, see, that's what I'm saying. You don't know. But then when I go get the scripture, then the preacher say, he adding to it. See, I'm saying, man, I'm in court and I'm not adding to it. I'm using it in self-defense. And you, as the preacher of it, supposed to be now a witness to the crime that the devil is presently doing to me in the judgment hall that he did to Jesus when he was in Lent. And I'm telling y'all, I'm starving, but y'all the devils. See, this is what I'm trying to tell the kid. I'm saying I'm going to the elders and my peers, and I'm telling them I'm hungry, just like you would. And then just like they told me when I was 15, 16, go get a job. Man, go get a job. And I'm saying, man, but I'm hungry, right? Nah, you got to do whatever you got to do to eat. Now you sorry, you this and you that, right? But you still got your situation, man. You saying, man, I got this situation. You don't understand the situation I got. So I got to do what I got to do. You see what I'm saying? Nah, I go to the military. See, that's me growing my history wisely. See, I'm saying, well, okay, man, you couldn't see the situation I had when we was young because your mama wasn't on drugs. My mama was on crack. See, as bad as I wish that wasn't the case, it was. And that's what I'm telling my friends. I'm saying, hey, man, I was making something out of nothing, man. I had nothing. You see what I'm saying? My mother had just got on drugs. Look, that's when drugs hit. My mama got on them. when I know she was on drugs, I was 14. That's when I realized it. But it was earlier than that, after I looked at it. See, so I was actually on my own raising my family. See, while they were talking about me, my mama was sick. See what I'm saying? They mama, see, they daddy, and I'm looking, I'm like, man, I wish I was like them. You know what I'm saying? But I had my own life, man. And that's what I'm saying. But now these people who always had a better life than me is now saying I'm crazy. And I'm saying, man, what about the life I made? Like, why wouldn't I defend the life I made? And you know I'm not a religious person, so why would you now make me have to read the Bible that you read and show yourself approved, and you know I didn't read? Why would you now be afraid of me reading it? Now, if I had committed a crime, right, or, you know, and then went to prison and found your Jesus incarcerated, then how would I then be greater than I am now when I'm telling you that they incarcerated me, but I'm charging them for putting that mark on my criminal record that I don't have? I don't have a criminal record. They gave me a criminal record. But now, those who read the Bible and read about Revelations 13, how the devil will give you the mark of the beast, now they don't see it. See, this is what I'm saying about a slave having a God. If you had a king, just like when Jesus was living, they had a they had a king. It was King Herod. But Rome had Caesar. Like the world now have Pope. The Pope, see, mess with the Pope if you want to. You will see he's Caesar. See, he just changed his name. Do you know the man have a personal army, just like Caesar? I think it's like 170 or maybe 100. It's like 160 to 170 people that'll die for the Pope. Like, if you come in there, that's his personal army. Now, we're not talking about his secret service. That's another. He got a personal army, just like Caesar, that'll die for him. That done died for the Pope. They done already died. They lived to die for the Pope. Just like those soldiers that was close to Caesar lived to die with Caesar. See, they was warriors, man. See, that's what y'all don't understand. And the Pope is still a warrior. He using religion to control his warriors. See, they just spiritual warriors, but he also have them gods. See, don't get it twisted. You ain't finna just get to him now. you finna start a war. See, this is what I'm saying. The world is still the world. It's still made up the way the world is made up. But to hide the crimes, they changed the names of the criminals. See, that's why you got to look at it. See, so I'm wondering what they going to change my name to when it's written in the Bible. See, but then I see now, just like they did Moses, they just stopped talking about you. See, you can be in the Bible, I can be in the court, but if you don't know about me, then see, and then they start teaching you not to believe in the Old Testament. And because when I was talking to these religious people, they told me, they say, oh, we don't believe in the Old Testament. And I'm saying, but you a descendant of slave. I ain't no slave. And I'm saying, oh, see, now I can see you. See, you the seeds of Abraham, but now you change your name to the disciples of Jesus. See, but the Bible tell you who you originated from. See, you are a religious abomination. See, you are a crime that continues to fester. See, that's why you continue to commit the murderers of your father. See, you the same murders, boom, boom, boom. It's just a different name, but it's the same type of murder. It's a spiritual murder, a spiritual crucifixion. You couldn't beat the man, so you crucified the man. Or you couldn't beat the man, so you assassinated the man. So you couldn't beat the woman, so you beat the woman. Just like Miss Fannie Mae Hamer. See, they beat the woman. Man, the woman died paralyzed from the beating that she got in a Mississippi jail. See, they don't tell y'all about that. Man, they beat a woman. See, because she wanted freedom for her children. See, this is what I'm telling y'all. See, the black women was mothers. See, now Miss Harriet Tubman, I'm not talking about like, see, they mothers by nature. See, even if they don't have children, they have a motherly instinct. So now what they did with the black man is, what is the example of a father? So what is the instinct of a man that has been enslaved? So see, even if you have a craving, just like these kids who born addicted to crack, they don't know what crack is because their mama was smoking it. Their mother earth was toxic. So they was born toxic. So they craving for something, but they don't know what they're craving for. So the creator of their craving then give them Ritalin. See, they call it Ritalin, but how do we know what it is? It could be a milder substance than crack, because they got to wean the baby off of their creation. Or are they making the baby usable, like they can use the baby? So what they doing now is they controlling the substance so they can control the child. See what I'm saying? Because what is a mad scientist if they're not a mad scientist? So if the leaders of these children are spiritual, then when would they create the scientists that would develop the antidote that would stop the mother from smoking crack so the baby will be born free from crack? See, look at the devil now. See, the devil write new scripture, and the Christians do not create new witnesses. Now, when I read the Prophet Muhammad's testimony that the Muslims call the Quran, see, the Quran is just like the Torah. It's a testimony that was given from the witness. See, and so this is what I don't understand about those who are in the Exodus of Moses, right? Why would you, once you are able to read, why wouldn't you read everything you could read? Why would you stay in one stage of understanding when you can move your understanding through so many different stages? So that's what I'm saying. So, okay, now that's me telling you what I'm thinking, right? Now, this me telling you what I said, right? But I wrote it. Now, see, I can't go back and just tell you what I said, see, because I didn't write it down. I was just speaking to you, just like if I met you and we just talking and I'm saying what's happening, what's going on. See, so it doesn't matter. Like I told my daughter one time, I say, see how I talk to your mother? Because I sent her and her mother the same thing. You see, so I was showing my daughter, see, my conversation is the same for your mother as it is with you. Because the love I have for you, I have for your mother. It's no different. See what I'm saying? So see, all you have to do is change the name. And the love in the message is still love. So that's what I was telling my daughter. If you find a man that love you like I do, then you done found your father in that man. But see, if all he talking about is spending sexual time with you, then see, that's not love, that's lust. See what I'm saying? He trying to conquer you. He not trying to protect you. See what I'm saying? See, your daddy is protecting your heart by fortifying your mind. See, the stronger I make your mind, the more that man gotta work to be like your father. See what I'm saying? And once he start loving you like a father, see, then he can be a better husband to you, because he'll love you like you saw your father love your mother. And see, then you would see the love your mother have. See, because you would know the whole thing. See, your father can only give you love, not lust. See, so you have been loved since you was created, because I loved your mother before you was created. That's why I always tell you, we got married before you was created. See, we didn't get married because you was created. See what I'm saying? See, when I didn't even want kids. See, that's what I'm saying. So now, check this. Now this is what I said. Now, and because yesterday I did one, because, you know, on Psalms 30, which is not my testimony, that I couldn't do this one because that one was so long. So I wrote this one this morning about the history. I just finished my walk. So I say, well, let me riff. And then, but now I'm not breaking it down, but I'm telling you some history. So I say, if the United States of America is now illegally, historically, biblically, religiously, spiritually, financially, mentally, and federally denying God's children in hoods, projects, communities, schools, colleges, universities, churches, temples, synagogues, mosques, detention centers, jails, prisons, and judgment halls all over the world. Okay, now I gotta see. That's what I'm saying. And Allah's children, because what I don't want somebody to say, well, he wasn't talking about us. See, so I'm saying Allah's children in hoods, project. See, so y'all seeing the corrections made. So you see that, hey, he not, you can't add to it because it's not your testimony, but he can because it's his testimony. See, and I'm writing it now. So this is a history in the making. See, if Jesus was me, like when Dr. Martin Luther King was me, he was recorded. So now I have to record myself because the state of Florida is hiding me so it can prepare its history, see, forward, right? So now, if America is hiding, if the state of Florida is hiding my history, then what history is the state of Florida making if it's not reconstructive? See, so they reconstructing around my history, saying that the history that I'm making is not world history. See, I'm saying, well, even if it's not the state of Florida's history, it's world history. I live, so you're going to tell the world that I don't live, but the state of Florida is sovereign? How the state of Florida is sovereign if it's lying the fact that I was born? So when would I ever be real if the state of Florida hiding the truth about me? But now it's telling the truth about Jesus. Now what the Bible say? Bible say that the devil's children are liars and murderers from the beginning. See, so now, wouldn't they be liars at the end? So wouldn't you now be able to see the devil's children for whom can't tell the truth on Tommy Chancey Council Sr.? So how could I be anti-Jesus if I'm not anti-truth? If I'm telling my truth, how you think I can't see the lies that's being told in the name of Jesus and the name of the Prophet Muhammad? But, okay, so now I'm saying, okay, so I got it in universities, churches, temples, synagogues, mosques, detention centers. See, though, that way, when my children are any understanding, I'm talking about them. See, I'm saying, how about if my children in the future become a Muslim? See, I don't stop them from being whatever they want to be. I'm saying, hey, but I'm that too. See, I'm saying, so you still serving me. No matter who you call me, granddaddy, God, whatever you call me, father, grandfather, don't matter. I'm making sure I can say, huh? See, I can say, yeah, that's me. Okay, now, and then I'm saying as well as mine for whom atheist children. So that's what I'm saying, right? See, I'm saying, so you say now you are God's children, and then some of you say you are Allah's children, right? And now I'm saying, but you gonna be mine for whom name is King Tommy Chancey Council Sr. of Four Councils Incorporated children. See, in the courthouse. Now, I don't want you in my life, because you Jesus children now. You not mine. See, I don't, because you starving me and they say you a goat. See, so you are not my children. That's what Jesus was saying. You, not my children. You are God's children. You are Allah's children. Now, once your children find my truth, then they'll see they my children, but they atheists because they don't believe in me until they find me. See, and then you'll become my children. See what I'm saying? But until you find me, how can you be my child? You are the child of what you believe. So that's why I don't want you. I don't need your sickness in my house. See what I'm saying? So of Four Councils Incorporated, children in hoods, projects, communities, schools, colleges, universities, churches, temples, synagogues, mosques. So that way, see, you'll know that no matter what you believe, the works that I did in the courts, I did for you. See, and I didn't care what God you believed in at the time, because I didn't want to be known. But see, now that they done lied on me, then I don't want my grandbabies to think I'm crazy. See, so now I gotta come here and be out of my comfort zone, because I don't like nobody knowing me. See, because I don't have no advantage no more. So see, now I have to be open so my children's children will know me. And now I understand what my mama was telling me when she talked to me 2 hours, telling me what to tell her granddaughter, because we only had one kid. So she knew my daughters, see, and she wanted me to tell her, I guess, what she would have told her, you know what I mean? So, hey, we sat there 2 hours, man, and she told me everything I told my daughter. And now I'm telling y'all. So I'm glad she freed me, see, because she made me promise to tell my daughter So I guess she was saying so nobody else could tell her about her. She wanted me to tell her. See, so saying, well, you got it from your daddy. See, and I told him what to tell you, so you got it from me. Because I wouldn't have wanted to tell her all of that. But my mama, we was crying, and I was telling her, I don't want to say all that. She said, tell her. Tell her what I'm telling you. And both of us crying. And I told her. And so now my daddy can be mad with me, my brother. Hey, man, I have no pressure on me because my mama told me what to say. So I'm not talking against my mama. I'm doing what my mama told me to do. See, and that's where it hurt, right? Say, when somebody give you a commandment without telling people, then the people don't know you fulfilling the commandment that your mama gave you. So now they sitting up there in their feelings. But you saying, hey, man, maybe you was too young for her to tell you. See? But she told me to tell her granddaughter. So who are you to tell me? Because I saw it. That's why she told me. Because she knew I knew. And she knew you didn't. Because she wasn't that when you were born. But when I was born, that's what she was. See, so my mother and your mother, two different people. Even though they the same people, but they changed when you were born. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, do the last child know what the first child experienced? See, not heard about, but saw. See, you hearing about what I saw. See? Okay, let me see. So I'm saying the 9 of, see, okay, now, see, what I'm saying is, I'm going to read it again because I had to go over it. I'm saying, illegally, okay, if the United States of America is now illegally, historically, biblically, religiously, spiritually, financially, mentally, and federally denying God's children in hoods, projects, communities, schools, colleges, universities, churches, temples, synagogues, mosques, detention centers, jails, prisons, and judgment halls all over the world, Allah's children in hoods, projects, communities, universities, churches, temples, synagogues, mosques, detention centers, jails, prisons, and judgment halls all over the world, as well as mine for whom name is King Tommy Chancey Castle Sr. of Four Castles Incorporated's children in hoods, projects, communities, schools, colleges, universities, churches, temples, synagogues, mosques, detention centers, jails, prisons, and judgment halls all over the world of my for whom simple name is simply Tommy Chancey Castle Sr.'s history is not King George III's history, not the history that my for whom name is Petty Officer 3rd Class Tommy Chancey Castle Sr. of the United States Navy history is now legally, historically, biblically, religiously, spiritually, financially, mentally, and federally fighting in the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida on August 12th in 2008 at 10:40 in the morning, as well as in the federal courthouse in the Middle District of Florida on February 20th in 2018 at 9:20 in the morning, as well as on November 14th in 2023 at 5:32 in the morning after after I, for whom name is President Tommy Chancey Castle Sr. of Four Castles Incorporated. Now, what I was just saying, because if I keep on, I ain't going to stop. So what I said is after February 20th in 2018 at 9:20 in the morning, then I didn't put nothing else. So I said on this interview what date it is now. But see, if I put that, then I'm gonna say something else, and so that's why I was telling I'm doing this for my partner TJ, who probably listening, right? And he is the one that had me answer why I don't proofread it. See, I'm saying if I go back, because I've learned something else, then I'm not going to finish. I'm going to start writing in my new maturity. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm learning every day. So if I go back to yesterday, like I'm doing now, see, this is some of it today, some of it yesterday, I'll never finish. See, so that's why the first motion was 770 pages or 760 pages, I think, something like round up in there. And that's when I woke up to how long it was. I was just writing, just mad. Like, man, I can't believe people can't see. Like, man, these people done took my house. These people done did all this. And they telling me about God and they telling me about Jesus. See, and that's me saying, hey. And then it's like, man, I'm so hurt, like, man, that I had to put periods in. And then I said, man, I better use the dictionary because, man, my mind, I had to walk back from insanity, man. Like, everybody I love was trying to run me crazy. Could you imagine that the people that you believed in, that you thought that knew you enough to understand the totality of who you are, right? From where y'all was to where you at. So you like, well, this the money shot. You see what I'm saying? Like, okay, why you trying to run me crazy? Why you ain't helping me get the money we need so we can save our children? But you feel like you saving our children by destroying my mind? But what about your mind? So you gonna teach the children out of your mind that's trying to destroy my mind, that's in court saving the children's mind? But you're not going to educate the children because you say, I don't believe in God. So now should not the children look at the God you believe in? So look, after I, for whom name is President Thomas Chancey Council Sr. of Four Councils Incorporated, legally, historically, biblically, religiously, spiritually, financially, mentally, and federally grew up in the midst of the Garden of Eden, specifically in the state of Florida, within the midst of the United States of America. Like Moses grew up in the midst of the Garden of Eden, within the midst of Egypt. Before Moses legally, historically, religiously, spiritually, financially, as well as mentally wrote the Ten Commandments, for which legally, historically, biblically, spiritually, financially, mentally, and federally grew into the Florida Constitution, the United States Constitution, the Florida Bill of Rights, the United States Bill of Rights, the United States Declaration of Independence, statutory law, as well as the Civil Rights Act of 1964 in the midst of the Garden of Eden. So see, what I'm saying is, when I read in the Bible that God said, be fruitful and multiply, right? And God, for whom the only person in the Bible called God was Moses, and Moses made that commandment. Now, the devil, who is an adulterer, has made women think that's producing a bunch of children that the men can't protect nor feed. But see, now, they talk about the government, but yet your children is being raised by the government that they is against. But now, the women got to ask, if you against the government that's providing for me and my children, then why won't you provide for my children and me? See, that's what I'm telling my wife. See, the only thing I ever promised my wife that she would never be hungry. And one time I almost violated that promise, but I took her on the back of my ship and I caught 6 trout. 6. I'll never forget it. I had enough money to buy some grits, but because it was the first time that I had to budget with her. See, and I couldn't take her to the ship. See, like before you eat on the ship, I could eat on the ship every day. But I don't know if I could take my, but I bet you I could have if I'm telling them. But then they would have probably came after me, see, because you couldn't take care of your family, and see. So I was like, well, my grandmama taught me how to fish, so I had a reel. That was my grandmama gave me the reel. Say, here, take this reel with you, right? And I had that reel. I went, boy, and I had, man, I don't even know how much. I know I had less than $5. I know that. I had less than $5. We were hungry, and man, I went on the back of that ship, and boy, they were laughing at me. And she was on the back with, and boy, when I caught the third one, I was happy. But then I caught 3 more, and that was 6. I said, let's go. You know what I mean? Boy, I went home and cleaned them fish. Well, first we went and bought the grits. I was out then. I was out of the money. But we had a house, we had lights, we had water, and we had 6 fish and some grits. And boy, I promised myself I'd never be like that again. But now I am, but it's not my fault. It's my government fault. Because they not living up to what they would have said to me when I had to come on the back of the USS Lexington on the fantail and catch 6 fish to feed my wife. See, so they ain't doing what Jesus did. See, they ain't multiply the fish, but I multiplied because it was 6 fish I caught. Jesus had 5, but he fed the multitude, but I fed my wife, and I fulfilled my promise, and now I'm feeding the multitude out of my mind's lake. See, I have now educated my mind to where my mind is like the fish that Jesus multiplied and fed the many, and not one was hungry. See, I'm saying, if you open up your mind, you will see that the knowledge that I'm giving you is good to be consumed, just like when the serpent told Eve to look at the fruit. See, I'm saying this fruit is legally pulled from the nectar of understanding. See what I'm saying? It came from me, and I'm giving it directly to you. So there's no intermediary. See, I am it. See, I am the source of it. I am giving it directly to you. So there is no middleman. See, no matter how many of y'all it is listening to this me and you talking. It's personal. See, that's why I'm not in no church. I'm like Jesus say, have I ever taught in your synagogues? Now you may bring this into your synagogue, but you bringing me in. I'm not physically in your synagogues. I'm not in your mosques, your temples, nor your churches. I'm not in your schools. I'm not in your colleges. I'm not in your universities. See, I'm in bondage, in exile in Kissimmee, Florida, and now I'm in Kissimmee courthouse, and they trying to evict me, and I have an $800 million income tax in there that they won't give me the money, but they starving me, saying that I owe them, and my family spitting in my face while I'm starving, a family member. So if one family member did it and they took up counsel with themselves, then would not all the family members be guilty of spitting in my face if they didn't stop the one that spit and they took up counsel? So did they come up with counsel to spit in my face and they was just the one that was picked to do it? But now I had to swallow my pride, not to spit, even though it almost went in my mouth. You see what I'm saying? And then I had to look and like, man, I can't believe you did that, man. And I supposed to be crazy, but you supposed to be sane. See, that's what I'm saying. Well, why don't these Christians come prove their sanity? because even King Henrod said Jesus had a ghost. So look at the ghost in these Christians who not in the image of Jesus, because why would Jesus persecute me? When did Jesus persecute anybody? But the Bible says that the high priest Caiaphas said that Jesus must die, and they say he prophesied it. So that means he made his personal prophecy come true. Just like I'm telling y'all about my personal love for you all individually. So I grew wise to then show you the value of wisdom. See, not just my wisdom, but wisdom itself. See, because if I would be diabolical, even though it would be intelligent the way that I did the diabolical thing, right? But it would still be diabolical nevertheless. So, but if I show wisdom with manifested truth, then I am showing wisdom manifested through truth. So therefore it's absolute wisdom, because it's truth absolutely. See what I'm saying? But anyway. Okay, so now I'm saying, see, in the midst of the Garden of Eden, for which I, for whom name is Petty Officer 3rd Class, Tommy Chancey Counsel Sr. of the United States Navy, legally, historically, biblically, religiously, spiritually, financially, mentally, and federally grew in the state of Florida, which became the 27th state of the 13 states of the United States of America on March 3rd in 1845. See, so why then is that date synonymous for when America added the 27th state to the 13 states? See now, see how they're growing? See, they was on July 4th in 1776, the United States had the day before, so on July 3rd, 1776, it was the 13 colonies owned by Great Britain. On July 4th, 1776, the colonists who was colonized by King George changed their name from 13 colonies of Great Britain to the 13 states of the United States of America. So on July 4th, 1776, the United States was 13 states. Now, what that is, I want to make sure. On March 3rd in 1845, the United States was only, on March 2nd in 1845, it was only 26 states. The next day, on March 3rd in 1845, the state of Florida became the 27th state of the United States of America. So see, on March 3rd in 1845, it was only 27 states. So now, if I had to sue one of the 27 states that became the 27th state of these United States of America on March 3rd in 1845, then why then is the state of Fort Cassels Incorporated not an incorporated state within the territories of the United States of America? If I had to go into the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida, as well as in the federal courthouse in the Middle District of Florida, and fight a legally, historically, biblically, religiously, spiritually, financially, mentally, and federal revolutionary war. See, I'm saying, is this not revolutionary? If it was revolutionary when you did it to then cease ties with your king, then can you not see how I had to do it to introduce myself as the king of the enslaved citizens of the United States of America, I'm saying, well, hey man, well, my ancestors were slaves. Now you was property of King George. Now, my ancestors was property of you. So we was property of peasants. And now when the peasants became landowners, now they made us property. Now you say that because I was your ancestors' property, I owe you. And I'm saying, okay, you right. But I just fought a war against you like your ancestors fought against your king, and I paid you what you say my ancestors owed you for my people. And I paid you in your currency. I paid you with what you said is legal tender for all debts, private and public. So see, that means that the debts that my people owe you on the publicly traded NASDAQ and stock market, then I paid it in accordance with Amendment 14, Section 4. See, where you can't question the value of my pension, but I get a pension from the United States Postal Service, which you have denied me after you denied me of the use of the Declaration of Independence. So now you are now a violator of your own Declaration of Independence. See, that's why my history is now up against your history, and your founders are now revealing to its inhabitants that you are a descendant of King George III, not a descendant of them. See, they would be with me. That's why I'm giving you the same documentation they gave the king. See, that's why you won't let the people know the true history of America, because then they'll see that you are Benedict Arnold. You are the descendants of Benedict Arnold. See, that's why I gave you the same information that George Washington gave Benedict Arnold. See, I gave you the same information. Now you went back and told everybody that lie, and I got you in court. And then you trying to tell me, well, he lied to me. I'm saying, according to the strategy of war, I gave you misinformation just like George Washington gave to Benedict Arnold, so I can then reveal you to the people. So now, if you say George Washington never lied, then why you saying I'm lying when I'm using the same strategy he used to out Benedict Arnold that I'm using to out you? See, that's a strategy of war made popular by the first president of these United States of America. So now I done used two presidents, the first and the 16th, in my emancipation of my people. See, but my people have denied me. So I'm like Jesus now. If these were my people, see, so they not my people. So now I supposed to have my right to my pursuit of happiness. Now, I use a portion of my life to then do what I believed I was born to do and what my mother gave me a commandment to do. I took care of my people. I took care of my brother. I took care of my children. I took care of my wife. See, now I want to live in my golden years with the fruits of my labor. But now the people who I even work with is trying to act like I didn't work. See, I'm saying, well, what's true? But they believe in Jesus. And I'm saying, well, you don't believe that I worked alongside you? So you will testify for Jesus, but you won't testify for the person who worked alongside you? See, that's some sick, man. But okay. So now you see, which became the 27th state of the 13 states of the United States of America on March 3rd in 1845. And William D. Moseley was elected the first governor of the state of Florida. Now, I done sued 4 governors for the violation of my constitutional rights. So now, why wouldn't I be the first governor of Four Castles Incorporated? If William D. Mosley was elected the first governor of the state of Florida, and now, see, well, that's when I took the senator who was at the time Bill Nelson. See, I sued him to be the senator for the state of Florida. See, that's when the elections came into the judgment hall. See, you can't run no more town halls. You got to come into the judgment hall. See, that's where I brought Senator Bill Nelson. See, Jesus didn't do that. See, I brought Senator Bill Nelson from Washington, D.C., and I made him come into the civil and criminal courthouses, not only as Senator Bill Nelson, but as Citizen Bill Nelson. See, when I took his senator title away and I became Senator Tommy Chancey Castle Sr. of the state of Florida, inside of the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida on August 12th in 2008 at 10:40 in the morning, he then was a citizen. See, inside of the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida on August 12th in 2008 at 10:40 in the morning. See, when he became a citizen, I became a senator. See, the black man, he don't understand the flip of history. He just be flipped throughout history. See, that's why he's a flop. He's a historical flop. See what I'm saying? So when they tried to flip me, see, that's in that book, The Gift, and then this dude he flipped the flop, he flipped like I'm stupid, right? And I just laughed at him, but I asked the dude, I say, man, you don't know what I mean when I said flip, and then they flip, and then he say, man, I understood what you said when you said it. see, that's what I'm saying, right? A fool gonna show themselves to be foolish, but they think that they intelligent, right? Because they think they down in me. But I'm saying the children feel me because they come from where I come from. See, you might come from a small town, but you don't come from poverty. See, you come from a small town. See, we come from the city. See, and ain't no farms, ain't no nothing. See, we gotta hustle within the concrete jungle, so we actually be poor. See, y'all be poor, but y'all be fed because you live in the country. You live around farms. See what I'm saying? But when you in this concrete jungle and you getting assistance, well, if your mama get a job, she lose the assistance. So see, the children is caught up in the mother's financial decision to not get a job. So now you on a fixed income as a child. See, that's real poor. see, that's when the government give you just enough to be poor. So, but anyway, was elected the first governor of the state of Florida, and David Lee Yealy, right? For whom were one of the state's first, for whom was, I'm going to say was, because it's, for whom was one of the state of Florida's leading proponents for statehood. So see now, I had to fight for my personhood, and then I had to fight for Four Castles Incorporated statehood inside of the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida on August 12th in 2008 at 10:40 in the morning. The charter for the state of Florida had been revoked and given to the state of Four Castles Incorporated. See, in history, but see, because the criminals in America reconstructed around Four Castles Incorporated's history, now Four Castles Incorporated's history is hidden behind the lies of America's reconstruction of history itself. See, so now so that means David Levy, David Levy Yealy, for whom was one of the state of Florida's leading proponents for statehood, became the United States Senator for the state of Florida, for whom the community of Ely, Florida, is named after, who was known for his role as the builder of the Florida Railroad, a significant railroad in the state of Florida in the United States of America, for whom didn't become the 13 states of the United States of America until July 4th in 1776. So what I'm saying is everything has a beginning and everything has an end. But if the person who history keep ending the true history that began, when would true history be? See, every time America get caught up in its lies, America create new history. And that is why America is not historically accurate. See, the history of America itself is made up. See, so that's why when somebody like me come and can see the lies in history, they fail you. And then they pigeonhole you into prison. See, if I wasn't able and smart enough to go into the Navy, I couldn't divert their plan. Look, they kicked me out of school. So that would have put me on a trajectory of crime. But because I was intelligent and I had to have a conversation with myself because my mama was on drugs, so I couldn't have it with her because she wasn't around. She was doing her thing. So I got kicked out of school. I only had me to consult with. So I then said, hey, man, now do what your mama say. You done did what your daddy said. You done got kicked out of school. You have no future. But you have this gift, you have this ability. So now apply it. So now I applied it from 18 to 9. So wouldn't you see the maturity of that application? See, why would I now backslide when I was at the crossroads of my existence when I was 18? I had wise counsel with myself. And now I'm showing you the wisdom from that counsel. Okay, but anyway, after the Revolutionary War, for which took place from April 1775, arising from growing tensions between residents of Great Britain's 13 North American colonies and the colonial government, which represented the British Crown in the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida on August 12 in 2008 at 10:40 in the morning, as well as in the federal courthouse in the Middle District of Florida on February 20th in 2018 at 9:20 in the morning, after skirmishes between British troops and colonial militiamen in Lexington and Concord. See, you know, this is funny, right? Because I had this same fight on the USS Lexington. See, this stuff, hey man, I had to sue the medical department aboard the USS Lexington because they were saying my left knee wasn't nothing wrong with it. So I had to write to Senator Bob Graham and what that other name? Lawton Chiles. Man, now those were some good senators and governors. I think Lawton Chiles was the governor and Billy Graham was the senator. I wrote both of them. And I was off the USS Lexington, and I was in Biloxi, Mississippi in the Air Force. They took me out of the Navy and the Marines. They made me go to the Air Force, and they saw that I had a torn meniscus. Now his daughter, I think she ran, Bob Graham's daughter ran. And boy, I wanted to vote for her, but see, I want to do business with her because I know she comes from good stock. Them some good people. Because I'm telling you, them people, her daddy and Lawton Chiles, they made them get me off the ship. They drove me to Biloxi, Mississippi from Pensacola, Florida, and then they made them fix my knee. That's why they mad with me. Because I make them do what they supposed to do. And those were them people earn their votes. And Lawton Childs, man, he said he wasn't gonna leave, or he died in office, man. But he lost. I don't know why that man lost, but that's them Republicans, man. That was a good man. And I'm talking about, I wrote the man, and it wasn't no form letter. That man made them do it. Everything I told him to do, he made them do it. So when I went to Marco Rubio, that man ain't helped me. I got the emails and everything. He ain't helped me. But now you want me to advocate for him? No, I advocate for who helped me. Now, so I'm telling you, if y'all see that lady, man, Bob Graham's daughter, she a good people. She good people, man, because her daddy good people, and if she is cut from her daddy, she good people too. See, because they say the apple don't fall far from the tree. So that man earned his vote from me, and I didn't even vote for him. I didn't vote. Man, the only time I ever vote was against George Bush, because he stole my vote in 2000. I was gonna vote against him. That's when we had bought our house in 2000, right before the election. They wouldn't let us, and because we bought, and they said that we was in the time where we couldn't change our precinct. But they said even though that we were still in the town, we could go and vote. They said we would have voted illegal. That's why I'm on their ass about this voting, see, because I know. And then that's when he got in with the hanging chads. He wouldn't let me, my wife and I vote. And I'm saying, well, y'all was just sitting here making legal maneuvers, taking people votes. See, that's why I was telling my partner, I'm saying, man, that dude ain't no good, man. They stole my votes. Now they stealing y'all votes. That's why I'm telling these kids, don't vote for no devil, man. See, don't vote for the lesser of two devils. You still voting for a devil. See, if a man or woman can't tell you the truth, they ain't gonna do the job. See, even if a man make a mistake and tell you about the mistake he made, then he trustworthy. If a man hide the truth about the mistake he made, how can you trust him once you find out that he lied about it, making a mistake? So see, if he can't say he made a mistake, then he won't correct the mistake he made. He'll try to hide the mistake he made, and that's why you have to reconstruct over history, because they done reconstructed over the truth. So now, once a person can't build on the truth, then they cannot allow the truth to be established, because it's going to break the foundation of their lie. Because once the truth start growing, how can a lie hold a support of the truth? So if you build a false foundation, right? Say it tells you to have 4 rebar, you put 2. It tells you to tie the straps and you don't. Now you pour the concrete, you got the bars in there, but when you build that structure, is it gonna be able to support it? Now it might support it for a minute, but after it starts settling, now that thing gonna start showing you that somebody didn't build a foundation according to specs. Now you have your family in a house that is crumbling. Now, how do you know how much time you got before the house collapses? So you gonna keep your family in the house that's rocking, or you gonna get them out before the house collapses? So now here I am supporting the rocking house with the stabilizing statutes and amendments to support the rebar. And now you take the statutes out as if you want the house to collapse with you in it. Because if America don't stand, where do Americans live? See? So if it is no America, what is an American? See? So if we don't find unity, then we need to change the name. See, individual states of America. See, don't call it United States of America and you not unified. That's a lie right there in your description. See, so the black people keep saying, you ain't God. I'm saying, well, I'm using the definition of God to describe me. So if I fit the description, well, why am I not what is being described? But now, how can America be united when it's individuals? Because if I can't tell my truth, but everybody can lie, then it should be the lying states. Because you're not united, or the United States of America united by a lie. Maybe that might be the name you should change it to, because you all lying. Ain't nobody telling the truth but me. So now, after the skirmishes between British troops and colonial militiamen in Lexington and Concord, for which kicked off the armed conflict, for which I, for whom name is President Tommy Chancey Council Sr., legally, historically, biblically, religiously, spiritually, financially, mentally, and federally brought to a peaceful resolution in the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida on August 12th in 2008 at 10:40 in the morning, for which is when the rebels' descendants illegally, historically, biblically, religiously, spiritually, financially, mentally, and federally waged a full-scale war in the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida, as well as in the federal courthouse in the Middle District of Florida for the illegal, historical, biblical, religious, spiritual, financial, mental, as well as federal enslavement of King Tommy Chancey Council Sr. of Four Castles Incorporated in the state of Florida, for which grew within the guarding of the United States of America, for the independence of the angels of the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, as well as for the independence of the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, in the midst of the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida on August 12th in 2008 at 10:40 in the morning, as well as in the federal courthouse in the Middle District of Florida on February 20th in 2018 at 9:20 in the morning, for which is why the for which is why the Florida Constitution, the United States Constitution, the Florida Bill of Rights, the United States Bill of Rights, the United States Declaration of Independence, statutory law, the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the Ten Commandments, the Holy Bible, and the Holy Quran, legally, historically, biblically, religiously, spiritually, financially, mentally, and federally entered into the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida. Oh, damn. In the state of Florida on August 12th in 2008 at 10:40 in the morning, on the side of me, for whom simple name is simply Tommy Chancey Council Sr., like France, legally, historically, biblically, religiously, spiritually, financially, mentally, and federally entered the American Revolution on the side of the colonists in 1778, which is why I, for whom name is Petty Officer 3rd Class Tommy Chancey Council Sr. of the United States Navy, am now a legal, historical, biblical, religious, spiritual, financial, mental, and federally written testimony, for whom name is President Tommy Chancey Council Sr. of Four Castles Incorporated, legally, historically, biblically, religiously, spiritually, financially, mentally, and federally submitted in self-defense against the dragon, against the angels of the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, as well as the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, in the midst of the Garden of Eden, for which legally, historically, biblically, religiously, spiritually, financially, mentally, and federally grew within the garden of the United States of America in the state of Florida, against the educated, for which is defined as giving evidence of trained minds, for which, according to the Black's Law Dictionary, is legally defined as the source of thought and intellect, for whom's mind, for which, according to the Black's Law Dictionary, is legally defined as the seat of mental faculties, minds, for which, according to the Black's Law Dictionary, see, it's getting late, and so, see, I'm trying to get the time, and then but that's not an excuse. that's just telling you why I didn't want it to go too long. And then this is what I started yesterday. So see, my testimony from this morning bleeding into my testimony from yesterday. And now I'm saying, man, if I don't finish it, then it'll be the testimony tomorrow gonna run into the testimony I did 2 days ago. So that's why I'm trying to finish it, so I can go to another day tomorrow. So let me see. I got it. Okay. So for whom minds for which, according to the Black's Law Dictionary, is legally defined as the seat of mental faculties, were all historically, biblically, religiously, spiritually, financially, mentally, and federally taught, for which is defined as to cause to know, for which is defined as to have understanding of life, for which, according to the Black's Law Dictionary, is legally defined as the state of being alive as a human in hoods, projects, communities, schools, colleges, universities, churches, temples, synagogues, mosques, detention centers, jails, prisons, and judgment halls all over the world, in the generation for whom, according to the Black's Law Dictionary, is legally defined as a single degree or stage in the succession of persons in natural descent in hoods, projects, communities, schools, colleges, universities, churches, temples, synagogues, mosques, detention centers, jails, prisons, and judgment halls all over the world, were all historically, biblically, religiously, spiritually, financially, mentally, as well as morally taught, for which is defined as to cause to know, for which is defined as to perceive, for which is defined as to obtain awareness or understanding of directly from the educated, for which is defined as having an education beyond the average of what is believed, for which is defined as to consider to be true or honest in hoods, projects, communities, schools, colleges, universities, churches, temples, synagogues, mosques, detention centers, jails, prisons, and judgment halls all over the world, are who tell you in hoods, projects, communities, schools, colleges, universities, churches, temples, synagogues, mosques, detention centers, jails, prisons, and judgment halls all over the world what to believe, for which is defined as to accept the word or evidence in hoods, projects, communities, schools, colleges, universities, churches, temples, synagogues, mosques, detention centers, jails, and judgment halls all over the world, as well as what to do in hoods, projects, communities, schools, colleges, universities, churches, temples, synagogues, mosques, detention centers, jails, prisons, and judgment halls all over the world, is why you in hoods, projects, communities, schools, colleges, universities, churches, temples, synagogues, mosques, detention centers, jails, and judgment hall, jails, prisons, and judgment halls all over the world now believe, for which is defined as to hold as an opinion in hoods, projects, communities, schools, colleges, universities, churches, temples, synagogues, mosques, detention centers, jails, prisons, and judgment halls all over the world, that I, for whom simple name is simply Tommy Chancey Castle Sr., am now insane, for which, according to the Black's Law Dictionary, is legally defined as suffering from false belief, after the legally educated, for which is defined as befitting one, well, I'm going to say for whom. For whom is defined as befitting one that mind, for which, according to the Black's Law Dictionary, okay, befitting of one. Oh wait, well, befitting one of mine. See, I'm saying that mine. Now I'm gonna say of mine. Befitting one of mine, for which, according to the Black's Law Dictionary, is legally defined as the ability to will in judgment halls failed, for which is defined as to lose strength to recognize. So what I'm saying is the educated minds who failed to see my mind failed. See what I'm saying? So I'm defining mind, then I'm telling you that mind failed. See, to recognize, see it say failed, in judgment halls failed, for which is defined as to lose strength to recognize, see, for which is defined as to acknowledge formally my, for whom name is Petty Officer 3rd Class, Tommy Chancey Castle Sr.'s legal personality, for which according to the Black's Law Dictionary is legally defined as the legal status of one regarded by the law as a person, as well as Four Castles Incorporated as a legal entity, for which according to the Black's Law Dictionary is legally defined as an organization such as a business name, Four Castles Incorporated, for which Chancellor Incorporated is an corporate entity, for which according to the Black's Law Dictionary is legally defined as Four Castles Corporation's legal and historical, biblical, religious, spiritual, financial, mental, and federal status in the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida on August 12th in 2008 at 10:40 in the morning, as well as in the federal courthouse in the Middle District of Florida on February 20th in 2018 at 9:20 in the morning as an organization of Chancellor Incorporated, legally, historically, biblically, religiously, spiritually, financially, mentally, and federally existing independently of Four Castles Incorporated, for whom own 100% of the legal, historical, biblical, religious, spiritual, financial, mental, and federal shares of Chancellor Incorporated in the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida, as well as in the federal courthouse in the Middle District of Florida for eternity and infinity. And for eternity and beyond infinity. Okay, yeah, and beyond infinity. What is the educational, for which is defined as having to do with education, for which is defined as the knowledge and development resulting from the value, for which is defined as the monetary worth of the process of being the educated, for which is defined as based on some knowledge of fact in hoods, projects, communities, schools, colleges, universities, churches, temples, synagogues, mosques, detention centers, jails, prisons, and judgment halls all over the world, if the educated, for which is defined as giving evidence of training in hoods, projects, communities, schools, colleges, universities, churches, temples, synagogues, mosques, detention centers, jails, prisons, and judgment halls all over the world, think, for which is defined as to have as an intention, my for whom name is Petty Officer 3rd Class Tommy Chancey Council Sr. of the United States Navy's life estate, for which according to the Black's Law Dictionary is legally defined as an estate of wisdom, for which is defined as ability to discern inner qualities and relationship held only for the duration of a specific person, for whom name is President Tommy Chancey Council Sr. of Four Castles Incorporated, is not legally, historically, biblically, religiously, spiritually, financially, mentally, and federally competent, for which is defined as proper or right, pertinent, for which is defined as, for which according to the Black's Law Dictionary is legally defined as of, relating to, or involving a particular issue at hand in hoods, projects, communities, schools, colleges, universities, churches, temples, synagogues, mosques, detention centers, jails, prisons, and judgment halls all over the world. In the future, well, see, now this is another one here, man, and that's too long. All right, that's it.